Well, now that you're in Oregon and you have more access to the internet, I know your fans were. I think one of the most frustrating things about being one of your subscribers, because I watched your videos quite a bit, is that we had to wait so long, because you're up in Alaska and, you wouldn't upload very often. And now that you're not on prehistoric internet, what can your fans and subscribers expect from this point on?
Well, I'm trying to work in putting out more video stuff. I'm looking at doing some more live streaming stuff because down here, it's internet's way cheaper, so I can actually afford to do a lot more video content production on the far end side kind of thing, where I can produce videos and not have to worry about hitting a 200 gig cap or 150 gig cap that is still very prevalent up in Alaska to this day. For internet access. Yeah, and it really sucks when you're underneath those kinds of limitations, because up there I use the internet for everything, entertainment, doing work, and doing other stuff. And when you're producing a video that's running HD 60 frames a second, or you're doing 4K videos and stuff like that, that eats up a lot of bandwidth. A 30-minute video on 4K resolution's easily almost 2 or 3 gigs right there.
Oh, sure.
And so, as is, I'm hoping to start producing more content. Unfortunately for me, I got to deal with this legal fight first that is upcoming with the U.S. Marshals at this point.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. How did it all get rolling, Like, walk me through it so that people that are fans of my channel, we can cross-pollinate some folks and clue them in as to what's going on with you.
Okay. Well, what involves with the U.S. Marshals is, this is my second run-in with personnel with the U.S. Marshals where they had a problem with me filming. First time was over in Houston, but those were actually security guards that were deputized by U.S. Marshals. The second time was when I decided last month to go and do First Amendment tests over at the federal courthouse, and I went and did one over at the federal building, well, the old federal building here in Eugene. So I went over to the federal courthouse, did my filming, walked around and stuff on the sidewalk and the little public courtyard there they had a front, filmed the, what was it, that little art thing they have. I don't know what's up with these courthouses and having a bunch of, like, art pieces around. And then I went up onto the wheelchair ramp, which goes up to the main building. And what happens is that sort of you have the courtyard goes a little bit on the underside of the building, but still outside in the courtyard, per se. And I was filming there when I had a U.S. Marshal come walking up to me, and there's two other people. I suspect they're both U.S. Marshals or something like that. And confront me and say that I can't film where I was at. And then they started to, and then the one U.S. Marshal that did his little badge and all that stuff, physically grabbed my camcorder, and we had our back and forth there. I started yelling to attract attention to the situation, and hopefully, if there's anybody nearby, it was actually pretty dead, surprisingly, to start filming the incident or something like that. And so after further back and forth, he yanked my camera away, sort of stepped away. Eventually, he goes ahead and grabs me one more time and physically pushes me off the property of the federal courthouse. And
yeah, I saw that video, and my immediate response to it was, I really wish you had a partner, because you can't see, from that vantage point, you can't see the Marshals Service people putting their hands on you. You can only see shaky video, and it's up close, and it made me really wish that somebody could be across the street.
Yeah, and the funny part is, filming. I did not know his hand actually made the camera zoom in, because I actually was pointing the camera when it was all shaky when he was forcing me off at his hand.
Oh, so it zoomed in by accident. All right.
Yeah, I don't think he did it intentionally. It's just, I mean, the way the zoom and unzoom button is located is on the top part, and you can see where his hand goes on the camera in the release footage I have done, where all of a sudden the camera starts to zoom in right in.
I got it.
And so it was pretty much an unconscious thing, I'm pretty sure, on his part. But nonetheless, I sat there. I didn't realize it was zoomed in. I was sitting there trying to point it at his hand. I think I might have, at least for a few frames, might have gotten it on it. I haven't really sat down and really gone through and tried to look at all the super zoomed in footage or anything like that. So,
right on.
But nonetheless,
So were you charged at all at that very beginning?
No. There's no citation, no criminal charges or anything like that pending. Though there was threats of if I stepped once more back on the property, I would be arrested.
Yeah, like criminal trespass or whatever?
Yeah.
All right.
And so, which case, after that incident, went and filmed the federal building. No incident, no problem at all. Had one person comment on my attire and all that stuff over at the federal building. And then went back home, pulled the footage from my cameras, and let the appropriate people know that are around me to, hey, this happened. Of course, some of them already knew from the live stream I was doing during that entire time. And
so what do you mean they made comments about your attire? Were you wearing a rabbit suit or something?
Oh, no, I was wearing my usual Punjabi outfit that I acquired a while back there. The one that I used quite often over in
Wait, you mean you were dressed like a Sikh or something?
Sort of. Middle Eastern, at least. Part of the reason why I grew the beard out.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. You know, I forgot that there was a British comedian troupe that did that for a while. They were dressing up in traditional Arab clothing and going to places in the UK. I forgot their names, but they were like a cable TV comedian group that were doing that. They're kind of like British versions of Kids in a Hall, but they were doing it about 8 years ago.
I think you might have got the countries confused because I'm pretty sure they were over in Australia, and they did a thing where
yeah, Australia, not Britain, yeah.
Where they actually went to some sort of like big, huge geopolitical summit meeting or whatever.
Yeah, they went to a G8 meeting. Yeah.
And what's funny is the cops actually escorted the guy that was dressed up and arrested the bodyguard looking guy, in one of their little stunts there. It's just that wouldn't have me double over laughter. I was just like, really?
I
wow.
think they were called the Chasers War on Everything.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's been years since I've looked at those videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, while we're chatting, I'll Google and try to find it. But
yeah, but
that'll be fun.
Nonetheless, I mean, after all that, of course, me, News Now Houston, and several others, we did the Tyrant Alert there, and of course, they got inundated with a bunch of calls. That same time frame, I put in a request with the ACLU over here in Oregon, and also filed a complaint with Internal Affairs of the U.S. Marshals, which apparently they are not wanting to discuss any further matters on it, and said I had to file a public records request.
Oh yeah, like go get your FOIA, and we won't make any more statements. Yeah, I just looked that up. They are from Australia, and they're called the Chasers War on Everything. And they ran a syndicated television show from 2006 to 2009. So there we go. I'm glad I'm not crazy. All right. So you filed a tort claim or just an official complaint?
I just filed an official complaint. I am still talking with a few lawyers on the next course of action. So that's all I'm going to comment on that part for the time being. But
that's
at this
wonderful.
point,
okay.
At this point, it looks like it's definitely going to move into the legal realm of things, and that's where my focus has been. My attention and focus has been on that aspect for my channel, is getting ready for this fight. So part of the reason why I haven't produced more content is just due to the fact when I first started down here, I had something blow up.